Hey there. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Today we're tackling mastery.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And not just the concept,
Right.
but the actual path to get there.
Okay.
All laid out in Robert Greene's Mastery.
I like Greene.
Yeah, he's a good one.
He is.
So, you, our listener,
Mhm.
you value knowledge.
Of course.
So I bet you've thought about this.
Oh, yeah?
What does it really take to be truly great at something?
Yeah.
And Greene kind of throws out that,
Yeah.
born genius myth
I like that.
and says it's a process we can all undertake.
That's empowering.
I know. I'm excited to dig into this.
Me too.
So,
Where do we start?
yeah, where do we start? Well,
Lay it on me.
Greene breaks it down into phases.
Okay.
It's almost like leveling up,
I like that analogy.
like in a video game.
Yeah. Yeah. For real life, though.
Right.
High stakes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what's level 1?
Apprenticeship.
Okay.
But not like the kind where you're just locking in. Okay. This is about a total mindset shift
Whoa.
through deep immersion.
Okay, so more than just learning the skills.
Way more.
Okay.
Think of young Leonardo da Vinci.
Okay.
His dad got him this apprenticeship with Verrocchio,
Mm-hmm.
not for the money,
Right.
but to transform how Leonardo thinks.
That's interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Greene talks about him studying everything, like
Yeah.
draped fabric,
Uh-huh.
facial expressions,
Interesting.
even following people down the street. If they had interesting features for art.
So he was stalking people for art. That's
Yeah.
dedication.
He was dedicated.
Yeah, but seriously, it sounds like
Yeah.
it wasn't just about drawing.
Yeah.
It was about rewiring his brain to see differently.
Exactly.
Wow.
That's the power of a true apprenticeship.
Yeah.
It's not about the paycheck. It's about
Right.
changing how you perceive the world.
Wow. I like that.
And finding the right mentor is crucial.
Oh.
Like Frank Lloyd Wright.
Okay.
He really wanted to work with this architect,
Uh-huh.
Louis Sullivan.
Famous guy.
Yeah, so he basically charmed his way
Oh, wow.
into being his right-hand man.
He knew what he wanted.
Oh, yeah. Talk about understanding the
Yeah.
value of a good mentor.
Totally. So you're not just learning techniques.
No.
You're absorbing a whole way
No.
of thinking
Completely.
from someone at the top of their game.
Absolutely.
But that kind of makes me wonder.
Yeah.
So we're transforming our minds.
Huh?
Is there also a social side to this?
Ooh, good question.
Do our interactions with people
Yeah.
affect our path to mastery?
100%.
Okay.
Greene's big on social intelligence.
Oh.
He says if you're always
Yeah.
battling office politics or emotional drama,
Draining.
it drains the mental energy you need to learn and grow.
So it's
Yeah.
decluttering your mental space
Yes.
to make room for mastery.
He uses Benjamin Franklin
Oh.
as a case study.
Okay, Ben
So
Franklin.
early on, he totally misjudged
Oh,
this patron, Governor Keith,
okay.
and it led to some setbacks.
Ah,
But he learned from it.
yeah.
Later on, he had this
Yeah.
manipulative employer,
Who was that?
Samuel Keimer.
Keimer. Okay.
And Franklin didn't just get mad,
Yeah.
he outsmarted him,
What do you do?
built his own network,
Wow.
and started his own successful printing business.
Look at him go.
He turned a bad situation into a mastery moment.
That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah, he wasn't just reacting emotionally.
No,
He was playing the long game.
he was.
That's interesting. But isn't there a fine line
Oh, I see what you're saying.
between being socially intelligent
Uh-huh.
and being manipulative?
Yeah, that's a great question.
How do we make sure
Right.
we're using this for good?
Greene addresses that.
Okay.
He says it's not about being a master manipulator.
Right.
It's about understanding social dynamics
Yeah.
and using that ethically to reach your goals.
Okay.
Like Franklin in France.
Oh.
Remember when he was sent there to get support for
Yeah.
the American Revolution? People back home were like,
Yeah.
why is he living it up in Paris?
Right. Uh-huh.
But they didn't see his strategy.
Yeah.
He was adapting to French culture.
Wow.
Win them over, and it worked.
So it's about seeing the bigger
The
picture
bigger picture.
and playing that social game strategically,
Yes.
but with integrity.
With integrity, that's key.
This is making me rethink some stuff.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we've got this foundation
Uh-huh.
of apprenticeship,
Yeah.
social intelligence.
Yeah.
Now what?
Now what?
Do we just put our heads down and grind?
Not quite.
What else is there?
Greene says the next phase
Okay.
is what he calls creative active.
Creative act.
This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay, I'm listening.
This is where you go beyond just knowing
Okay.
to engaging your whole self
Whoa.
in creation.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more.
Okay, one key thing is
Yeah.
embracing discomfort
Oh, no.
and uncertainty.
This sounds hard.
He compares it to exploration.
Okay.
You have a direction,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't know what you'll find.
Ah.
It's like setting sail
Oh.
to a new world.
Okay, I like that.
Exciting, but a little scary.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
It sounds like passion and courage are key here.
They are.
But how do you handle that fear
Right.
of the unknown
Yeah.
without getting totally paralyzed?
That's where negative capability comes in.
Negative capability.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's this ability to hold uncertainty
Okay.
without freaking out.
Okay.
Resist clinging to your preconceived notions.
Oh, interesting.
Be open to whatever emerges.
I love that.
Right.
Yeah, it reminds me of the scientific process.
Oh, yeah.
You got to be willing to ditch your hypothesis
Yes.
if the data says you're wrong.
Absolutely be open to new information.
Right.
Greene talks about John Keats.
Keats?
Okay. And how he admired Shakespeare's ability to just
Right.
inhabit his characters
Interesting.
without judgment.
Okay.
That's negative capability in action.
I like it.
It's the opposite of confirmation bias,
Right. Yeah.
where you only see what confirms your beliefs.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've gone from like intense learning
Yeah.
to navigating the social landscape
Right.
to embracing the unknown.
Yeah.
It's quite a journey.
It is.
So what's the final destination
The final destination.
on this path to mastery, according to Greene?
He says it culminates in what
Yeah.
he calls masterly intuition.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah.
developing a sixth sense in your field,
Okay.
moving beyond logic
Interesting.
to a deeper understanding that feels
Yeah.
almost instinctual.
Wait, instinctual.
Yeah.
I thought we ditched the whole born genius thing.
All right, we did.
Okay, good.
He says this intuition isn't
Yeah.
mystical or genetic.
Yeah.
He compares it to our ancestors
Sure.
who mastered skill like tracking. They
Mhm.
developed this thinking inside ability.
Interesting.
It wasn't magic. It
Oh, yeah.
was deep experience reshaping their brains.
Okay.
He believes that capacities in all of us.
So it's about tapping into a level of understanding
Yeah.
that goes beyond
Yeah.
the purely rational.
Yes.
Intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still trying to picture this.
Oh, yeah.
What does this
Yeah.
thinking inside
Mm-hmm.
actually look like?
I know. It's kind of abstract.
Yeah. Do you have an example?
He uses Temple Grandin.
Temple Grandin. Okay.
Yeah, the animal scientist.
Okay.
And she has autism,
Right.
which,
Yeah.
presents its own challenges, of course.
But she achieved incredible mastery
She did
in her field.
amazing by leaning into her
Okay.
visual thinking style
Uh-huh.
and her deep empathy for animals.
That's amazing.
Right. She
Yeah.
literally thought herself inside their experience.
Wow. So it's like she hacked her own brain
She did.
to achieve a deeper understanding.
Yes.
That's really cool. It really shows that
Yeah.
this path is available to everyone,
Yes.
regardless of their limitations.
Yeah, I love that.
But how does this work
Oh, good question.
in a more scientific field?
Yeah.
It still feels a little abstract.
For that, Greene offers us a fascinating case study.
Hit me with it.
Albert Einstein and his theory of relativity.
Okay, now we're talking. Einstein is often held up as like
Yeah.
the example of genius.
Right.
How does Greene deconstruct that myth?
He shows how Einstein
Yeah.
made a key choice early on.
Okay.
He realized he wasn't cut out for traditional experimental physics.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he leaned into his strength, abstract thinking.
Interesting.
And he also refused to blindly accept what everyone else believed.
Okay.
He questioned Newtonian physics,
Wow. So he was like
which was considered sacred at the
a
time.
little rebel
A little bit.
in the physics world.
Yeah.
But how did that lead him to relativity?
Right.
Yeah. Was there a specific aha moment?
There was,
Okay. Tell me everything.
but it was built on
Yeah.
years of deep thought and questioning.
Okay.
Greene describes how Einstein's love
Yeah.
for playing the violin
Oh, well.
and his familiarity with Mozart
Interesting.
unconsciously shaped his scientific process.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He learned to think inside complex phenomena,
Interesting.
much like he could think inside a Mozart composition.
Wow. So his artistic side
It did.
informed his scientific breakthroughs.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But how did it all come together?
Through persistent visualization,
Okay.
he was wrestling with this paradox.
Which was?
If the speed of light is constant,
Mm,
how can it be measured differently,
right.
depending on the observer's motion?
Right.
One day, he's picturing
Okay.
a man on a moving train
Uh-huh.
shining a light beam,
Yeah.
and bam, it hits him. He realizes that time itself
Mm.
isn't absolute,
Wow.
It's relative
Wow.
to the observer.
That's wild.
That simple image sparked a revolution in physics.
It's mind-blowing to think
Right?
that years of deep thinking
Yeah.
combined with this
Yeah.
intuitive flash of insight
Right.
led to such a monumental shift
That's amazing.
in our understanding of the universe.
It is.
This is a powerful argument
It is.
for the power of cultivating mastery.
It certainly is. And what's even more remarkable is that this thinking inside ability isn't just for Einstein's.
Right.
It's a potential we all have,
Okay.
waiting to be unlocked.
This is so inspiring.
It is.
It's making me think about all the things I'm drawn to
Oh, that's great.
and how I can cultivate this
Yeah.
in my own life.
It's exciting.
But before we get too carried away,
Okay.
let's take a step back
Yeah.
and recap what we've learned so far.
Sounds good.
What are the key takeaways?
Okay, let's synthesize these key insights. You ready?
I'm ready.
We started with that transformative power
Yeah.
of apprenticeship,
Right.
that deep dive,
Yeah.
that rewires your thinking.
Rewires your thinking. Yeah.
Remember Da Vinci
Yeah.
intensely studying everything around him?
Oh, yeah. All the details.
That wasn't just art skills.
Right.
It was cultivating a mindset of observation,
Yeah. A key
a
ingredient
key ingredient.
for mastery.
And Frank Lloyd Wright positioning himself to learn
Oh, yeah.
from the best.
Yeah.
That's understanding how mentorship fuels mastery.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
It's about more
Yeah.
than just technical skills. It's
Yeah.
absorbing a whole way of thinking,
Like soaking up
soaking it up.
the essence of your craft,
Yes.
going beyond the surface.
Deeper level. Yeah.
But then we talked about social intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not just about
Right.
being nice.
No.
It's understanding the dynamics of your field
Yeah. Of your field.
and navigating them effectively.
Ben Franklin, right.
Ben Franklin, yeah.
Masterclass.
Yeah, what a story.
From misjudging his patron early on
Oh, yeah.
to outsmarting that manipulative employer,
Right, Keimer.
Keimer,
Yeah.
to winning over the French
That's right.
during the Revolution.
Amazing.
Franklin's story shows us how mastering the social game
It's true.
can unlock incredible opportunities.
Yeah, it makes you realize
Yeah,
that social dynamics are part of every field.
totally.
And understanding them can be
Yeah.
just as important
Yeah.
as like
Soft
technical.
physical skill. Yeah.
It's not about manipulation.
Yeah.
It's about working within the system
Right?
to achieve something bigger.
Something bigger. Yes.
But then you threw us a curveball,
Oh, I did.
the creative active phase.
Oh, yeah.
Embrace discomfort,
Huh.
uncertainty.
It sounds scary.
Sign me up,
Right.
said no one ever. Seriously, though,
Yeah.
how do we push past that natural fear
Yeah.
of the unknown?
It is a natural fear. Well, that's where
Yeah.
negative capability comes in. That
Yeah.
ability to sit
Yeah.
with the unknown
Right.
without freaking out.
Just be cool with it.
Be cool.
Yeah.
Like, you have a compass,
Okay.
but not a map.
I like that.
You have a direction, a goal,
Mm-hmm.
but you're open to discovering new paths.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like being an explorer,
Ooh,
charting new territory.
I like it.
Exciting and a bit scary.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Right.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal.
And
It's trusting the process,
trusting it.
even when you don't have all the answers.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just trust it.
Yeah, but how do we make that leap
Right.
from theory to practice?
That's the question.
Like, how does someone actually cultivate this
Right.
negative capability?
Greene gives a few strategies.
Okay, lay on me.
One is to actively look for analogies.
Analogies, okay.
When you're stuck, try to see your problem
Yeah.
through the lens of something completely different.
Interesting.
It can help you reframe your thinking,
Okay.
spark new ideas.
Yeah,
Another strategy is to flip
Yeah.
your emotional perspective.
interesting. How do we do that?
Instead of viewing a challenge as a negative,
Right.
try to see it
Yeah.
as an opportunity for growth.
It's like turning,
Taking it around.
I can't do this,
Yeah.
into how can I learn from this?
That's it.
It's a subtle shift,
It is.
but it feels powerful.
It is powerful.
Yeah. And then there's
Yeah, but-
mechanical intelligence.
Yeah, this is so interesting.
It is.
That working directly with materials,
Yeah.
tools, processes,
Get your hands dirty.
makes us think better.
It does.
Yeah.
Our brains evolved alongside
Yeah.
our ability to use our hands
Right.
to create and build.
That's cool. So it's not just about thinking in the abstract.
No.
It's about engaging our
Yeah.
whole selves in the creative process.
Yeah, I like that. Like
Yeah.
Santiago Calatrava,
Calatrava, yeah.
the architect,
The architect.
he doesn't just design beautiful buildings.
No.
He gets deep into the how,
Wow.
the
Yeah.
materials,
Yeah.
the engineering,
The nitty-gritty.
the construction.
Yeah. Yep.
That's so cool.
And this deep understanding allows him to push boundaries.
Yeah, it's about bridging the gap.
Bridging the gap, yes.
Between theory and practice.
Absolutely.
Makes a lot of sense.
It does.
It's not enough to have a brilliant idea.
No.
You need to know how to bring it to life.
Bring it to life, yeah.
In the real world.
In the real world.
Okay, so we've talked about apprenticeship,
We have.
social intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
embracing the unknown,
Yeah.
and even getting our hands dirty.
Getting our hands dirty.
Sounds like we're building to something.
Building to something. Yeah.
Incredible here.
What's the ultimate payoff,
Yeah, what is it?
according to Greene?
Yeah.
It all leads
Yeah.
to that masterly intuition we talked about earlier.
Right.
It's moving beyond logic
Yeah.
to a deeper,
Yeah.
almost instinctual
Yeah.
understanding
Of your field.
of your field. Yeah,
You mentioned Temple Grandin earlier,
I did.
how she was able to
Right.
think inside the minds of animals.
Amazing. Right.
Yeah, are there other examples
Oh, there are.
of this intuitive mastery?
Yeah.
It still feels a bit mysterious.
Well, Greene uses Einstein's discovery
Okay.
of relativity as a prime example.
Okay, Einstein, yeah.
He shows how Einstein
Yeah,
made a deliberate choice
Okay.
to focus on his strength
okay.
in abstract thinking,
Yeah,
even though it
Yeah.
wasn't the conventional approach.
interesting.
Okay.
So he was going against the grain a little bit.
He was.
But how did that gut feeling
Yeah.
lead him to such a groundbreaking discovery?
Well, Greene argues that Einstein's lifelong love of music,
Oh, interesting.
particularly Mozart,
Okay.
actually shaped
Really?
his scientific thinking.
That's fascinating.
He developed this ability
Yeah.
to think inside complex systems,
Wow.
almost like he
Oh,
could
yeah.
think inside a musical composition.
So his artistic passion
It did.
was actually feeding his scientific
Oh.
mind.
That's right.
I never thought of it that way.
It's cool, right?
Yeah, but how did it all
Right.
come together?
That's the
Like,
point.
what was the catalyst?
It was a simple image,
Oh,
a man on a train
okay.
shining a light beam.
Huh.
Einstein had been struggling with this paradox.
What was the paradox?
If the speed of light is constant,
Right.
how can it be measured differently,
Right.
depending on the observer's motion?
It's a good question.
He was visualizing the scenario,
Yeah.
and suddenly it clicked.
Boom.
He realized that time itself,
Is relative, not absolute.
crazy.
That simple image, combined with years of deep thought,
Yeah.
led to a revolution in physics.
It's incredible to think that
Check
a
it.
simple image
Picture.
could have such a
Such a profound impact.
profound impact. Yeah.
But it shows that these intuitive breakthroughs
Right.
don't just happen out of thin air.
No, they're built.
They're the combination
Yeah.
of years of dedicated work
Oh.
and a willingness to trust your own
Yeah.
unique way of thinking.
Yeah. This is giving me a whole new perspective
Um,
on my own creative process.
That's what we like to hear.
But I imagine there are challenges too.
Oh, absolutely.
Setbacks along the way.
Setbacks and
Does
challenges.
Greene address how to deal with those?
He does.
Okay, good.
He emphasizes the importance of developing resilience.
Resilience. Okay.
He tells the story of Ignaz Semmelweis,
Ignaz Semmelweis. Okay.
the Hungarian physician
Yeah.
who made a revolutionary discovery.
Yes, about the cause of childbed fever.
Okay, childbed fever.
He figured out that doctors
Oh,
were
right.
spreading the disease
Oh, no.
through their unwashed hand.
I've heard of him.
Right.
Yeah, he was ridiculed for that.
He was.
It seems like challenging the status quo
It can be
can be risky,
risky. Yeah.
even when you're right.
Even when you're right.
That's unfortunate.
His ideas were met with
Yeah.
fierce resistance
That's
from the
wrong.
medical establishment.
Oh, wow.
He was ostracized for daring to question their practices.
Just for questioning.
Yeah.
Wow, that's sad.
Sadly, his story highlights
Yeah.
the importance of
Yeah.
standing up for what you believe in,
Right.
even in the face of opposition.
Yeah, it's a reminder
I remember.
that the path to mastery,
It's not always easy.
it's not easy, no.
It takes courage and conviction
Yeah.
to push through those challenges.
Okay, so we've covered
What?
a lot of ground.
We've covered a lot.
Apprenticeship, social intelligence.
Embracing the unknown,
Right.
deliberate practice,
And even the importance of resilience.
the importance of resilience.
It's starting to feel like a pretty comprehensive
Yes,
roadmap to mastery.
it is.
But are there like specific principles or strategies
oh, good question.
that underpin this whole journey? There are. Okay, good, because I was hoping our listener could take something away and actually apply it. Greene outlines several strategies for achieving mastery.
Okay.
And they can be applied to any field.
Perfect.
Let's dive in.
Let's dive in.
Where do we begin? Well, he starts with connecting to your environment.
Okay, connecting to your environment.
Remember how we talked about thinking inside?
Yes.
Whatever you're studying, creating.
Right, being one with it.
That's the essence of this principle.
Okay.
To do that, Greene suggests paying close attention to detail.
Details, yeah. Observing patterns, immersing yourself in the nuances of your field.
Of your field, yeah.
He also encourages tapping into those primal instincts
Oh, interesting.
that can fuel your passion.
Okay, so it's not just about like logic and reason.
It's about feeling it.
Yeah, it's about passion.
Passion, yeah.
Okay. This reminds me of Daniel Everett,
Daniel Everett,
the linguist who lived with the Piraham people in the Amazon.
Deep immersion.
I know he immersed himself so deeply in their culture and language that he was able to make groundbreaking discoveries.
It's a great example.
Yeah.
Everett's willingness to step outside his comfort zone
It's huge.
allowed him to see things others missed.
Totally.
Connecting to your environment is about observation and action, study, and real-world engagement.
So it's about following your curiosity.
It is.
Wherever it leads.
Wherever it leads.
Even if it takes you off the beaten path.
Off the beaten path.
Okay, so connecting with our environment is key.
It is key.
What's next?
What's next?
On Greene's list.
He emphasizes playing to your strengths.
Playing to your strengths,
That's so obvious.
But so many people
I know.
waste time
trying to be good at everything.
Right.
Instead of focusing on
what
they naturally excel at.
Yeah, it's like trying to be a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Master of none.
Master of none.
It's much more powerful to lean into what you're already good at.
Lean into it.
Yeah, but what about those areas
where
we feel weak or less skilled?
Less skilled, yeah.
Should we just ignore them?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Greene suggests that even perceived weaknesses can be reframed as strengths when approached creatively. Remember Temple Grandin?
Yeah.
Her visual thinking style, often seen as a limitation, became her greatest asset in understanding animal behavior.
It's like turning
it around.
Supposed flaws into superpowers.
I love that.
Me too. Okay, so we've connected with our environment.
Yes.
Identified our strengths. What's next?
This is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Greene is a big believer in the transformative power of practice.
Practice, okay.
But he's not talking about mindless repetition.
No.
He's talking about deliberate, focused practice that pushes you beyond your comfort zone.
I like it.
And leads to a deeper understanding of your craft.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Good.
Let's unpack this idea.
Let's unpack it.
Of deliberate practice.
Deliberate practice.
What does it actually look like?
Greene suggests that effective practice involves several key elements.
Okay, what are they?
Setting clear goals.
Okay, goals, yeah.
Breaking down complex skills into smaller steps, seeking feedback from mentors or peers, and constantly pushing yourself to refine your technique.
Okay, it's about always getting better.
It's about developing what he calls fingertip feel.
Fingertip feel.
That instinctual grasp that comes from deep experience.
Okay, I get it. So it's like that 10,000-hour rule that we hear about. Like it takes a significant amount of focused practice to reach that elite level of performance. Yeah, but Greene emphasizes that.
It's not just clocking in those 10,000 hours. It's about quality practice where you're fully present, engaged, and constantly seeking to improve.
So it's not just
quantity. It's the intensity and focus, the quality of our practice.
Are there examples?
Oh, there are.
Of this deliberate practice.
Well, think about Martha Graham.
Okay.
The legendary dancer and choreographer. She developed a rigorous training system that transformed modern dance.
Wow.
Her students would spend hours, even years, perfecting a single technique.
On one technique?
Yeah.
That's dedication.
Until it became second nature.
Wow, that's incredible.
Right.
It speaks to the dedication and discipline.
Dedication and discipline.
Required to achieve true mastery.
Required, yeah.
But it's not just physical skills, right? This idea can be applied to
anything.
Anything, yeah.
Consider computer programming.
Okay,
The most effective programmers aren't just brilliant coders.
Okay.
They're meticulous debuggers, relentless testers.
Yeah.
Always striving to refine their code.
So it's that same commitment to continuous improvement. That drives mastery. So we've connected with our environment.
We have.
Identified our strengths.
We have.
And embraced the transformative power of practice. Starting to feel we have a solid foundation.
I think so.
For this mastery
journey.
But I imagine there are bumps.
There are always bumps.
Along the way.
Always bumps.
Does Greene offer any guidance?
He does.
On navigating those?
He does.
Okay, good. I was hoping he would.
Yeah.
Those inevitable setbacks and challenges.
Setbacks and challenges, yeah.
What does he say?
He reminds us that the path to mastery is rarely a straight line.
Okay, yeah. It's
often filled with unexpected twists and turns.
Right. Even temporary setbacks.
It can be daunting.
It can be daunting.
But also realistic.
No one achieves greatness.
No one.
Without encountering obstacles.
Without those obstacles,
How does Greene suggest we approach these challenges?
He stresses the importance of developing a resilient mindset.
Okay, a resilient mindset.
It's about learning to bounce back.
About adversity,
From adversity?
And keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Does he have an example for this one too?
He does.
Okay.
He uses the example of Paul Graham.
Okay.
The programmer, venture capitalist, and essayist.
I know Paul Graham.
Oh, you do? Yeah. He's great.
Yeah, his essays on startups.
His essays are amazing.
Are like legendary.
They are.
In the startup world.
Yeah.
But his journey wasn't always easy.
It wasn't, no.
No.
He faced numerous challenges.
Challenges and setbacks.
Like
what?
From failed startup.
Oh, no.
To technical roadblocks.
It was rough.
But he learned from each experience, using those lessons to refine his approach.
It's all about iteration, right?
And ultimately achieve success.
So it's not about avoiding failure.
It's not about avoiding failure. It's about
embracing it.
Embracing it.
As part of the learning process.
The learning process.
Precisely.
Okay. I like that shift in perspective.
It's a good one.
Yeah, mastery isn't about perfection.
No.
It's
about continuous growth.
Yeah.
And growth often emerges from those moments.
Where we stumble,
Where we stumble, learn, and adapt.
Okay, but how do we make sure we're actually learning?
Yeah, good question.
From those mistakes.
Yeah.
And not just repeating them.
Right. How do we actually internalize?
Right. And how do we move beyond just knowing about something? To truly understanding it.
Yeah. That's where the next principle comes in.
Okay. Hit me.
Internalizing the details.
Okay.
Greene argues that deep understanding comes not just from grasping the big picture, but from paying attention to the nuances. The subtle details that often reveal the true essence of a field.
So it's like zooming in and out. Seeing both the forest.
And the trees. Yeah.
Okay, exactly.
I like it.
He suggests we train ourselves to observe those details others might overlook.
Right. Those little things.
To see connections.
Yeah.
That are often hidden.
In
plain sight.
In plain sight, yeah.
And he encourages us.
Okay.
To cultivate a sense of awe and wonder.
Oh, I like that.
To approach our field with the curiosity of a child.
Okay.
Exploring a new world.
So like fresh eyes.
Yeah, this reminds me of Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh, Da Vinci.
And his obsession with anatomy.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't content with just painting the human form.
No.
Beautifully.
He wanted to go deeper.
Yeah, he wanted to understand the muscles, the bones.
The workings beneath the surface.
That's a perfect example.
It is. It highlights another key aspect of internalizing the details.
Which is?
Recognizing the interconnectedness of things.
Interconnectedness.
Remember when we talked about Greene's concept of
The ultimate reality.
Ultimate reality, yeah.
Of interconnectedness.
Yeah, it's that idea that everything is connected.
Everything is connected.
And that true understanding comes from seeing those connections.
Seeing the connections.
Yeah, recognizing the web of relationships that make up our world.
Precisely.
Okay, this is getting deep.
It is getting deep.
Yeah. But I can also see how this would be incredibly valuable.
It is.
In any field.
Any field.
It's about seeing the forest and the trees.
Both.
Understanding the parts. And the whole. Recognizing that web. Of relationships.
The web of relationships.
Yeah.
That makes up our reality.
Mind blown.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm starting to see my own work.
That's good.
In a whole new light.
In a whole new light. That's what we like to hear.
Okay, so we've connected.
We've connected.
With our environment.
Yes.
Identified our strengths.
Identified our strengths.
Embraced deliberate practice.
Yeah.
Internalized the details.
Internalize.
And recognize the interconnectedness of things.
Of all. Think back to young Leonardo da Vinci soaking up all that knowledge in Verrocchio's workshop. Remember how he trained his eye to see like every little detail, from draped fabric to those subtle facial expressions. It wasn't just learning to draw, it was developing a mindset of observation, a key ingredient, you know. In Mastery, Da Vinci's dedication reminds us apprenticeship is about transforming how we see the world, not just punching a clock.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if Da Vinci ever got tired of staring at fabric.
Yeah.
But seriously, finding a mentor who clicks with you, like Frank Lloyd Wright did with Louis Sullivan, that's so important. It's about absorbing their whole way of thinking, those unspoken rules that separate the good from the truly great.
Absolutely. And as we kind of move beyond apprenticeship, remember Ben Franklin? And the power of social intelligence? He wasn't just charming, he was strategic. He understood that mastering those social dynamics of his time could open doors and create opportunities. He shows us that social intelligence is about skillfully navigating the complexities of human interaction to get where you want to be.
Yeah, it's interesting. You wouldn't necessarily think of social skills as being essential for mastery, but Franklin's story really highlights how impactful they can be. It's not about manipulation. It's about understanding the unwritten rules of the game and playing it effectively. But then there's that creative active phase. Greene talks about embracing discomfort and uncertainty. That sounds like a recipe for anxiety, not mastery.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It can feel counterintuitive. But think of it like this. You're an explorer venturing into uncharted territory. You have a compass, a direction, but no map. You have to be open to the unexpected, willing to adapt and learn on the fly.
Okay, that analogy helps. It's like having a destination in mind, but being open to detours and discovering new landscapes along the way. Yeah. But how do you actually do that? Cultivate that negative capability, like Greene talks about. It's one thing to say embrace uncertainty, but it's another to actually live it. Any practical tips?
Greene suggests playing around with different creative strategies. One is to look for analogies. When you're stuck, try to see your problem through something completely different. Can help you reframe things, spark new ideas. He also suggests trying to reverse your emotional perspective. Instead of seeing a challenge as a negative, see it as a chance to grow.
That's a cool idea, turning those I can't moments into how can I moments. But Greene also emphasizes mechanical intelligence, the idea that working with your hands actually improves your thinking. As someone who mainly works with ideas, that really hit home for me. It made me realize I need to find more ways to engage my whole self in my work, not just my mind.
That's a great insight, and it brings us back to the ultimate payoff of all this effort, masterly intuition. Think of Temple Grandin, who was able to think inside the minds of animals, or Einstein, using his intuition to change physics forever. These are examples of what Greene calls thinking inside, that deep, almost instinctual understanding that comes from years of dedicated practice, and a willingness to trust your own unique way of thinking.
But those are exceptional people. Do you really think anyone can develop that level of intuitive mastery?
Greene believes it's a potential we all have. It's not about being a genius. It's about cultivating the right mindset and doing the right kind of practice. Remember Einstein's breakthrough with relativity? It wasn't a sudden burst of brilliance. It was the culmination of years of deep thought, fueled by his passion for music and his willingness to challenge what everyone thought they knew. And then that aha moment came from a simple image, a man on a train shining a light beam. It was a moment of intuitive insight built on a foundation of dedicated effort.
That's incredibly inspiring. It makes you realize that these breakthroughs aren't just flukes. They're the result of a process we can all try to follow. But it's not always easy, is it? Greene also talks about resilience, pushing through those setbacks and challenges we all face on the road to mastery.
He does. He highlights the story of Ignaz Semmelweis, the doctor who figured out that hand-washing could prevent childbed fever. His ideas were met with resistance from the medical establishment. He was ridiculed and ostracized just for daring to challenge the way things were done. His story reminds us the path to mastery can be full of obstacles, but it's those who persevere, who stand up for their beliefs, who end up making a difference.
It's a powerful reminder that true mastery often takes courage and conviction. But it's not just about pushing through those external challenges, is it? It's also about that internal struggle of honing your craft, always striving to be better. Greene talks about internalizing the details, the idea that understanding deeply comes from immersing yourself in the nuances of your field. It's like being a detective, uncovering clues that everyone else misses.
Exactly. And it's not just about seeing the individual details, it's about how it all connects. Remember Greene's idea of the interconnectedness of things. That's a key part of mastery, recognizing that everything is part of a larger web of relationships. It's about seeing the forest and the trees, understanding the parts and the whole.
It makes you realize that knowledge isn't static, it's dynamic. It's about seeing how the energy flows, the interplay between things, the constant evolution of ideas. But Greene also challenges us to widen our vision. It's about expanding our world beyond our own little corner, cultivating a broader understanding of history, culture, other fields of knowledge.
Exactly. He encourages us to read a lot, travel, have deep conversations, and always be open to new perspectives. It's about being a lifelong learner, always looking to grow our understanding of the world.
This has been an amazing deep dive. We've talked about so much. The power of apprenticeship and social intelligence, the courage to embrace discomfort and uncertainty, the dedication of deliberate practice, the importance of resilience, the depth of understanding that comes from absorbing every detail, the interconnectedness of it all, and the need to constantly expand our vision. It's a lot, but it feels like a powerful framework for anyone who really wants to achieve mastery in their chosen field.
It is. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one final thought. We've talked about thinking inside as being crucial to mastery. We've seen how our ancestors developed this ability through mastering skills like tracking. So what kind of thinking inside could we unlock by mastering the complexities of this digital world we live in? What new kinds of intelligence might emerge from our immersion in this new frontier? It's a question only you can answer.
That's a great point. As we navigate this digital landscape, with all its changing technologies and complexities, what new forms of mastery might we see? What new skills and ways of thinking will we need to thrive in this new era? It's an exciting time to be alive. The possibilities for mastery are truly endless. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Keep exploring. Who knows what you might accomplish?